course, we have with us again Dr. Llewellyn Johnson, the doctor from the cool hills of Mandeville. How are you, my brother?
I'm fine, Vernon. I'm very, very fine. How are you doing?
Not bad at all. I'm improving, but let me tell you something. That cousin of COVID, because since nobody don't know what it is, I call it COVID cousin. It still have me. It's over a month now, though, and I hear that a number of persons have that bad flu. It's terrible, man. Can you
Yes,
imagine?
yes, yes, yes.
Still having
Yeah,
that cough, but
it's
the doctors
yeah,
had
that's
warned me, and let me warn other people too, that the doctor said, Dr. Johnson, that you must make sure you take all the antibiotics, especially when you have a lung infection.
mhm,
So he said you
right.
not to just take part of it and leave it. By the way, quite a number of persons enjoyed your talk last week. They made contact with me. So we have to make sure we get that one out and circulate that some more.
Yeah, that's good hearing, Vernon. I'm happy that person's found the information
Yes.
relevant and reliable too, because that's what we offer on this program here. Something a bit different, exotic, so to speak, but of great relevance.
Yes.
Mhm. Right. Yes, Vernon. So thank you very much for having me on the program again. I would really love to extend greetings to you and the staff of Omega FM. And telling you, Vernon, spot on is really spot on. I mean, because
Yeah.
persons are joining in, and thank you for this platform as well, Vernon. Um, yes. So today I would love for us to talk a little bit about fats. Um,
Fats.
fats, oils. you know, we we have been told that fats, we have to be careful with the amount of fats that we consume because,
Yes.
according to the science that is here, that it points or it helps in the in increasing our cholesterol
Mm,
levels.
mm.
But Vernon, I am here to say that oils have been given a very bad rap over the years, and I think it's partly because of bad marketing and in an attempt to skew the information that is out there so that people are really um, advised in a correct and truthful way. There was a time, Vernon, when I was growing up, that coconut oil used to be ostracized.
No man,
The
you must drink it. Oh man, no good
Yes,
for
you
you.
must drink it. Why?
Yes. And you must use it too.
You
Yeah.
must use it. What was the reason that you heard?
I heard here about increasing your cholesterol levels and so on.
Exactly.
Mark, I would say the people in rural Jamaica because they used to use it quite a bit. They
Right.
use it under your
Right.
skin. And you don't have
Hmm.
no lotion, man. You go, take some coconut oil and rub it in your foot look shine and pretty.
Exactly. Right. And you see, that's it. We were ill advised of the so-called harmful effects the of the coconut oil,
Yes.
and as a result of that, what I have seen is that there was a mass replacement of this oil by other kinds of oil, vegetable oils, corn oil, sunflower oils, and this is what has led to or what has contributed in this elevation in the epidemic of these non-communicable chronic diseases. And as I said, let us talk a little bit about fats. Now, fats is one of the essential components of us as a human being.
Yes.
Our fats are used in our bodies for a number of reasons. The cell itself, in order for the cell to be alive or to have that form, you need fats
Hmm.
to be involved in it. It's part of the what we call the bilipid membrane layer that helps to form an envelope casing of
Hmm.
the cell. And because of this now, it allows, because of the structure of the cell wall or the cell membrane, sorry, it helps in communication between the internal and external environment of the cell. So it helps in the construction
Hmm.
of the skin of the cell. It's
Yes.
also found abundantly in nerve tissue, especially in the brain. We need
Mm-hmm.
tons of oils in the brain as well. We also need it to help us in modulating inflammatory markers, or even helping reducing some of our inflammatory markers. We also need it, Vernon, for making hormones. So these are just some of the effects or benefits of consuming oils, or
Mm-hmm.
of oils in the body. Now, how should I put this now? In terms of how oils are classified, there are various what we'll call it no classification of oils. For simplicity case, we have um, the oils being organized based on the number of carbon atoms that are in the chain. So we
Mm-hmm.
have them divided into short chains,
Yeah,
medium
right.
chains, and long chain fatty acids. The short chain fatty acids are those carbon linked chains. It's akin or similar to how you would look on a chain, Vernon. You see those links that form it? Right.
Yes.
That is how the links are formed in the structure of the skeletal, what we call the skeletal structure of the fatty acid, right? And once you have less than less than six carbon atoms in a chain, it's considered a short chain. Medium chain would be from 7 to 12, and anything beyond 12 now would be long chain fatty acids. Now, the short chain fatty acids tend to be, especially there are three main types that tends to be produced in your gut, and these are produced as a result of the gut bacteria that digests the un, undissolvable or non-digestible polysaccharides, which we call starch. So it forms three main kinds of small chain fatty acids, which are butyrate, acetate, and propionate, right? And these three are very important in reducing inflammation within the body, right? Butyrate tends to have the ability to go to your brain and pass a barrier called the blood-brain barrier. And once it gets inside, it helps to reduce inflammation, right? And a number of things that tends to happen in the brain um, during its activities. And one of the activities that tends to happen or to form is that of of byproducts we call beta amyloid plaque proteins, or tau proteins, which are associated with with Alzheimer's diseases. And so the butyrate now has the ability to nullify or nullify these toxic byproducts that are found in the brain, right? Now the others, the acetate and the propionate, those are mainly found in the gut, and what it helps to do is to remove or reduce inflammation in the gut. So it helps in the long-term maintenance and health of your digestive tract. And therefore there are related instances or cited articles which points out or points to it um, being able to counter the effect or reduce your risk of obtaining colonic cancer or inflammatory bowel diseases, right? So these are some of the effects of what we call the short chain fatty acids. Now, we're going to be talking a little bit more about medium chain fatty acids. And medium chain fatty acids are those that you would find in a lovely plant that we tend to use, which is the coconut oil, right? Right. The coconut oil is where you find one of the most abundant sources of medium chain fatty acids, right? Or triglycerides. Now, as I said before, Vernon, we used to have a lot of bad rap, a lot of bad press about the use of coconut oils. And, you know, it was during my research that I realized how very important this actually was. And the thing with and when you understand how it operates in your body, you have a great appreciation for it. Now, whenever we consume these oils, once it's in our digestive system and goes into our large our small intestine, it's going to be absorbed from there. And once it is absorbed from there, instead of going directly into the general circulation, it bypasses that and goes directly to your liver, so it's absorbed there and utilized. So you don't have a lot of it floating around for it to be added onto your belly or to your waistline and so forth, right? Right. So this now is has the ability to do just that, right?
Right.
Right.
All right. Tell you what, we have another minute before we go
Mm-hmm.
for the break.
All right, no problem, Bernard. So this is it's a very interesting topic, and I really want us to get a little bit more today. You know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I can feel free now to go and use my coconut. And
Yeah.
I let you know, it's amazing. But there are two things in other countries they use almost every part of the plant. That's the
Yes.
coconut
Mm-hmm.
and also banana. It's amazing. We just throw everything. As a child, they used to
Yeah.
use the the thing to the coconut itself, the hairy part to make brush. You cut it
Yes.
into.
Yes.
You used to use it to make to keep jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they used to make jewelry with it.
Yes. 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 Yes.
When you have
When my father.
weddings,
Yes, that is true. That is
yes,
true.
when you have weddings, they use it to, they call it the coconut bow, and they make an arch over the entrance to it. Listen, that every part of the tree used to use, man. Every
Mm-hmm.
part, same thing with banana. No, it's just
Exactly.
amazing. We need to go back to our roots. All right, gonna go for the
Yes.
break right now. You're listening to Spot On with Vernon Darby, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. And my very special guest is Dr. Llewellyn Johnson. Stay with us, so come back. Don't move. Dr. Johnson is now back on. Dr. Johnson, we've been
Yes, sir.
talking about this coconut oil,
Right.
and I was telling my listeners about the various, or we used to use it. But
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that they have what is called the virgin coconut oil, and they have the other type. Well, the
Right.
way I know it, they used to, after you grate the coconut, you juice it out and everything. Of course, you grate the
Right.
coconut, you know that some of your finger get grated with it too. I mean, you think
Right.
some of your
Right.
fingers, because that grater coat everything. Anyhow, they used to add water and you strain it, and that milk you get after, you boil it
Mm-hmm.
down and you get your oil,
Right.
and you have the custard. And of
Right.
course, the custard is very delicious. You add a little
Right.
salt and probably garlic to it, and you pour off the oil and you have that. You can put it on bread. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying that was our butter in those days. It's just amazing. But tell me the difference between this virgin coconut oil and how we used to just boil the liquid itself.
Right. Um, it's really too the processing the processing of the coconut oil can be done by two methods. One
Yes,
is by heat extraction and one is just by cold compress.
whole compressed.
Right.
Mm.
So what you're describing to me, how your parents normally obtain the coconut oil, was using the oil, the heat to force the oil from the grated or squeezed portion of the coconut itself.
Right.
However, how I know or how I understand that the cold pressed coconut oil is derived is where the milk or the hot not the husk the flesh of it is
Hmm.
grounded, and the juice is collected, and there's a separation that occurs,
Hmm.
and then they are able to remove the oil from it without using any sort of form of heat.
Of heat, right.
Right. So that is where the extra virgin oil comes in, because it's like you're just squeezing it out from the coconut into the container, right? So it's not tarnished by any other processing. I wouldn't say tarnished, but it doesn't go through any other processing method
Processing, right.
other than the pressure that is applied. And Vernon, there are certain countries like there are certain tribes, I should say, in Papua New Guinea,
Hmm.
where researchers were fascinated with these folks, whereby which these folks had very strong, were strong, had good build, had very long lives.
Hmm.
There was no incidence of cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, and neither were they overweight. And even if they're overweight, they had good muscle mass attached to them. And what they had noticed was that these folks, their consumption, their meal, comprised mainly or almost entirely of coconut and coconut milk and coconut oil. So there is no an association where, you know, there are actually great benefits derived from the coconut oil.
Yes.
Now, coconut oil in itself, once it is consumed, Vernon, the oil itself has the ability to to go to the hunger receptor in your brain and is able to tell the part that deals with hunger to say turn off, you're not going to be so full. So it has this ability to keep you feeling full for longer periods.
Really?
So
Well,
it
that's
is it
interesting.
yes, and
Hmm.
as a result of that, it helps in modulation of your weight. The other thing too is that
Yes.
because of how we had said that it it bypasses the general circulatory system
I go
and
to
goes
your
directly to
liver.
your liver, that
Right.
means it does not or it offers very little increase in weight and increase in size as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
The other thing too is that, you know, whenever we're dealing with a high color, a high oil based diet, this oil, once it is used up or is used as a source of fuel, it's converted to
Yes.
acetone and ketone bodies, which is actually used by the energy processing unit of the cell, which is the mitochondria, and it is actually involved in energy production. And the thing to Vernon is that once oil is used and is converted into to ketone or ketone bodies, it has a signal effect on the mitochondria, whereby
Hmm.
which it seems as though it allows the mitochondria to go into a repairing mode and a self-preservation mode.
Hmm.
And we call it mitochondrial uncoupling. And it in some cases there's a multiplication of mitochondria within the cell. So it
Hmm.
allows for more utilization of any form of oils and so forth. And the good thing about the coconut oil too is that it has this beautiful ability to pull in and burn your cholesterol, especially the bad cholesterol. It has this way of increasing the HDL, which is a good cholesterol, and mopping up the bad one. It's actually pulling your cell
Oh,
and burnt up as well.
I see.
So
I see.
it allows for you to burn more energy and at the same time limit your caloric intake because of its ability to trigger your satiety
Mhm.
receptor in your brain. Now, I'm going to be switching over into another gear whereby which I'm going to be talking about the long chain fatty acids. And as I said, we do need fatty acids. And of the
Yeah.
long chain fatty acids I'm going to be talking about are the omega 3s. I'm sure you have heard, a lot about, or to some extent, about omega 3s, the omega
Right.
fish
Right.
oils, and so forth, right? Now, the body cannot make a very important oil, which is called alpha linoleic acid, and so we have to supplement. And the only way the best way we can supplement is when we consume the fish oils. They
Oh.
contain a lot of ALA, right?
Hmm.
And that now is as a result of these algae, which contains this kind of oils, and the phytoplankton eat it and the fish eat it. So when we
Hmm.
eat the fish, we actually eat an accumulation of these alpha linoleic
Would you
acid.
find that in like cod liver oil?
Yes, definitely,
Oh,
definitely,
so my mother was,
definitely.
I thought my mother was wicked, because I never
No,
liked the cod liver oil at all. And I had to take my cod liver oil every day. I hated it.
exactly,
Mm.
exactly. And so the beautiful thing about it
Yes.
too is that once we take in this ALA, as I'm going to call it now, the body
Yes.
is able to convert that ALA into two other, not just two, but there are two main kinds
Hmm.
of long chain fatty acids or omega 3s. And those are what we call, I'm going to be reading it, eicosapentaenoic acid, which we call EPA for short, and docosahexaenoic acid, DHA. You will find most of the DHA in your brain. The majority of those oils are in the DHA. But the problem, Vernon, is that the conversion of ALA to these compounds is only 5%. So it's a vast amount is underutilized. And what we are finding too is that there is an association with a limited or reduced
We have about
amount.
2 minutes talk.
Right. We have so there's an association between ADH and a limited amount of these fats in our bodies. And
Yes.
so there are researchers that have gone the length and breadth to see how it is that when you incorporate all these three elements within the oil, to see how it affects the brain. And there have been some improvement with ADH children, whereby which there was a 15 to 20% improvement in their cognitive and behavioral portfolios after taking or supplementing with these
Mhm.
oils. And so,
I
Vernon,
tell you what, no. Yes. I'll just final point, and then you give us your contact.
right, Vernon. And so, as I just to point out the fact that oils are not to be ostracized. We're supposed to understand the benefits of oils, and that as time goes by, I'm sure that more information will be revealed as to how important oils are to us, for our children, as elderly folks, and even as adults as well.
Thank you very much. What importance I know about that oil is that when your foot look dry when you're picking it, you get some coconut oil and rub by your hand and rub it by your foot, and your foot look
Exactly,
nice
Vernon.
and pretty.
Exactly,
That I
Vernon.
remember. Especially when the inspector come, your foot better look shiny and pretty.
Shine and pretty, Vernon. And
Thank you
also for
very
your
much.
hair too. Sorry, and
Oh
even for your
yes, you're
hair.
here. Yes, yes, you
Mm-hmm.
sit down here too. What a thing. It's good to hear
Very
that
good.
them old time something still have use. Thank you very much, Dr. Llewellyn Johnson.